Eco DOO. Opening, Queen's Pawn Game. Accelerated London System. Variation, the H-Pawn Trap. We find ourselves in the seemingly tranquil waters of the London System, a setup renowned for its solidity and reliability. However, Black has come prepared with a dagger hidden in the cloak, a sharp, uncompromising flank attack designed to exploit the very rigidity that makes the London so popular. This is a lesson in vigilance, a reminder that developing pieces to active squares carries the burden of ensuring their safety against the encroaching infantry. The contest begins with the white queen's pawn claiming the center on the d4 square. Black mirrors this ambition, establishing a presence on d5. White immediately signals their intent, developing the dark-squared bishop to the active f4 square, the hallmark of the London system. Black responds with a shocking disregard for classical principles, thrusting the h-pawn forward to the h5 square, a harbinger of violence on the king side. White continues with a routine development, pushing the e-pawn to e3 to solidify the central pyramid. Grandmaster proof. Here lies the fatal oversight. White plays on autopilot, blind to the coming storm. To survive this aggression, White was absolutely required to play the h-pawn to h3. This would have carved out a safe haven on h2 for the bishop. By neglecting this prophylaxis, White walks directly into a tactical execution. Seizing the moment, Black strikes the center with the king's pawn advancing to e5, a gambit designed to clear the lines. White accepts the challenge, capturing the pawn on e5 with the bishop. The trap springs shut as Black pushes the f-pawn to f6, kicking the cleric from its perch. The bishop retreats to f4, hoping to maintain the diagonal. Black is relentless, expanding with the g-pawn to g5, forcing the piece back further. The bishop finds itself cornered on the g3 square. The final nail is hammered in as Black advances the h-pawn to h4, leaving the bishop completely entombed and lost. This miniature is a brutal illustration of piece safety versus pawn storms. The strategic theme here is the bishop trap, specifically exploiting the London bishop's lack of retreat squares when the e-pawn is committed early. Black utilizes a flank expansion, h5-g5, combined with a central diversion, e5, to stretch White's coordination. It serves as a stark warning. Standard developing moves like e3 can become blunders if they fail to address immediate tactical threats on the wing. In merely 6 moves, the game concludes with a decisive material advantage for Black. The legacy of this game is the fragility of system openings when faced with concrete, erratic aggression. It demonstrates that one cannot simply memorize a setup. One must remain alive to the unique geometry of every position. The London bishop, usually a pillar of strength, becomes a prisoner of its own ambition.